In the heat of August 2025, the boxing world once again delivered a showcase of violence, precision, and drama that only the squared circle can provide. The month unfolded like a highlight reel of brutality and brilliance. Where rising stars proved their worth, veterans fought to keep their names alive, and hopeful contenders etched their stories into the ever-growing tapestry of the sport. Every bell told a story, and every punch carried the weight of ambition. For some fighters, these nights became the moment their careers took flight. For others, it was the cruel reminder of boxing's unforgiving nature. The action began with Dominic Berry, a super heavyweight knockout artist whose reputation for finishing fights was already established. When he squared off against Luis Villapando, few expected it to last long, and Berry proved them right. With the confidence of a man who knew exactly what he was there to do, Berry overwhelmed his opponent, securing yet another first-round knockout. It was business as usual, another victim added to his growing list. And the message was clear. Berry wasn't just here to win, he was here to annihilate. Then came the professional debut of Yuki Tanuchi, stepping in against Yukihiro Kimura. The tension of a debut can often drag a fighter into dangerous waters, but Tanuchi looked unfazed, composed, and ruthless. What was meant to be a 4-round test ended in just 2, with Tanuchi flattening Kimura and announcing himself to the boxing world with violent authority. The first fight is often the most telling, and this one left no doubt. Tanuchi wasn't just another hopeful, he was a destroyer in the making. Joshua Edwards, a heavyweight prospect already garnering attention, faced Cayman Audi in his 4th professional bout. Audi promised to stand and trade, calling it fun, but fun is the last word anyone would use to describe what happened. Edwards displayed composure beyond his years, slipping counters and delivering punishment with surgical precision. The referee eventually had to intervene, saving Audi from a beating that was quickly spiraling toward the brutal. For Edwards, it was another step forward, another reminder that the division might soon have a new giant to fear. Chris the Hybrid Young, a fighter molded under the tutelage of the legendary Roy Jones Jr., showed flashes of his mentor's influence when he met Derek Funkhauser. Less than 30 seconds into the fight, Young sent his opponent to the canvas, setting the tone for a one-sided demolition. With explosive finishing instincts, Young swarmed Funkhauser and ended matters in the very first round. Roy Jones had given him the nickname The Hybrid, and in that brief storm of violence, it was clear why. The blend of speed, power, and flair was undeniable. The night also gave us a title clash as Taka Ueno met former world champion Masataka Taniguchi for the vacant OPBF and Japanese light flyweight titles. Early on, both fighters found success, trading sharp combinations and keeping the fight balanced. But in the 5th round, it all changed in an instant. Taka Ueno caught Taniguchi clean, ending the bout abruptly and seizing his first major belt. A single shot carried the power to alter 2 careers. And Taka Ueno walked away as champion, his rival left stunned in defeat. Andrew Murphy, an undefeated super middleweight prospect, entered his 11th professional fight with confidence and the poise of a fighter already thinking about bigger opportunities. Against Jeremiah Sierra, Murphy wasted little time. A left hook in the opening round dropped Sierra hard, and though he tried to rise, the damage was already written in his legs. Moments later, Murphy closed the show with another assault, leaving Sierra unable to continue. At 11-0, Murphy wasn't just building a record, he was building a statement. Pablo Valverde also made his case as a rising force when he met Eduardo Valverde. From the first bell, Pablo dictated the fight, battering Eduardo with a relentless pace before dropping him in the second. Though Eduardo showed heart and continued, the punishment piled up, and in round 3, Pablo ended matters emphatically with another knockout. It was another reminder of how unforgiving boxing is when 2 men with very different ceilings share the same ring. The Japanese super featherweight Hayato Tatsumi entered his 8th professional bout against British Olympian Kais Ashfaq. Early on, the fight looked competitive, but Tatsumi's work to the body began to tell. A crushing body shot in round 2 floored Ashfaq, and though he got up, the tide had turned. By the third, Tatsumi's relentless body attack broke him down completely, forcing the referee to step in after multiple knockdowns. Tatsumi roared in celebration. Undefeated at 8-0 and proving himself a name worth remembering, Marquez Valle, returning after suffering the first loss of his career, faced the dangerous and undefeated Louis Georges. On paper, this was no easy assignment, but Valle looked like a man possessed. With crisp combinations and a devastating finish, Valle stopped Georges in the very first round. It wasn't just a win, it was redemption. To rebound from defeat with such ferocity sent a clear message. Valle wasn't broken, he was reborn. The night's drama continued with Jack Turner defending his WBA International Superflyweight title against Nicholas Maruza. Through 5 rounds, the fight was a back-and-forth war, both men landing clean, both pushing the pace. But in round 6, Turner broke through. A screw shot sent Maruza crashing down, bloodied and shaken. Though he rose, Turner attacked again, dropping him once more and forcing the referee to stop it. It was the kind of fight that forges champions, and Turner passed the test with violent brilliance. Russia's David Jukiv met Argentina's Henry Ottaviano in a heavyweight clash that ended quickly and brutally. After forcing Ottaviano to a knee with a thunderous overhand, Jukiv finished the job moments later, leaving no doubt who the superior puncher was that night. Puerto Rican prospect Jan Paul Rivera faced Daniel Bailey in a scheduled 10-rounder. Bailey had early success, using his jab to frustrate Rivera, but Rivera's relentless pressure couldn't be denied. In round 6, Rivera broke through with a crushing knockdown. Bailey somehow beat the count, but Rivera swarmed him, forcing the referee to step in. Rivera remained unbeaten, his stock rising with every performance. Carlos Sinisterra, known as Sinister, endured a rough start against Efra Barrico, losing the early rounds and struggling to find rhythm. But in boxing, momentum can shift in an instant. In the 3rd round, Sinisterra turned it around, landing heavy combinations that broke Barrico down. With Barrico pinned against the ropes and overwhelmed, the referee counted him out. From near defeat, Sinisterra carved victory, a testament to grit and perseverance. Colby Madison faced unbeaten Damessian Van Hooter, and the result was brutal. From the very first punch, Van Hooter hurt Madison, walking him down and landing at will. By the end of the 1st round, a crushing right hand sealed the contest, leaving Madison on the canvas as Van Hooter extended his perfect record. South Africa's Caton Gomes clashed with Devin Young, another unbeaten fighter. But it took less than a round for Gomes to prove he was levels above. Overhand rights landed with devastating accuracy, sending Young down and out in shocking fashion. The fight was supposed to be competitive. It became a massacre. The debuts kept coming as Zid Yang faced Jangbo Gang. Yang's superior skill was obvious from the start, as Jangbo struggled to land anything meaningful. In the 2nd round, Yang unleashed a clean shot that ended the fight instantly. A perfect debut, flawless and destructive. Terry Washington, aptly nicknamed Terrible Terry, lived up to the name when he fought Nevis Rodriguez. Less than 30 seconds into the opening round, Washington dropped Rodriguez with a savage shot. Though Rodriguez survived the round, Washington returned in the 2nd and detonated another bomb, scoring a knockout that looked frightening in its violence. In Saudi Arabia, Derek Pomemerlu met Dimitro Rabalko as part of a WBC Grand Prix. After a tentative 1st round, Pomemerlu stepped on the gas in round 2, delivering a highlight reel knockout that booked his place in the semifinals. But perhaps the most shocking moment came when 20-year-old heavyweight Moses Ituma faced veteran Dillian Whyte for the Commonwealth title. Many believed the seasoned Whyte would test the young prospect, but the fight didn't last long enough for a test. In just 1 round, Ituma dismantled Whyte, stopping him emphatically and cementing himself as one of boxing's brightest young stars. Kai Watanabe defended his WBO Asia-Pacific Super Featherweight title against Ryo Saito in a fight full of drama. Watanabe dropped Saito twice in the opening round, appearing on the verge of an easy win. But Saito showed heart, storming back in round 2 and even hurting the champion. By round 3, however, the tables turned again. Saito's relentless pressure overwhelmed Watanabe, forcing a stoppage and handing him the belt in one of the month's most dramatic upsets. And finally, In a welterweight clash, Pedro Cona of Brazil delivered one of the most devastating knockouts of August. Facing Cuban René Villamonte, Cona found his moment in round 2. One monstrous shot sent Villamonte crashing to the canvas, unconscious before he hit the floor. The knockout was so sudden, so violent, that it silenced the crowd for a moment before erupting in shock and awe. August 2025 was a month defined by knockouts, where careers were launched, reputations salvaged, and legacies rewritten with fists. From brutal debuts to stunning upsets, from veterans falling to young lions rising, every fight told a story worth remembering. But now the question is yours. Out of all these unforgettable knockouts,